Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ali Mishaki bin Azmi. Today, me and my friend Muhammad Shukran bin Takyuddin will present to you about the psychological skill training related to rugby. Okay, first one I will explain to you how the physical psychological skill training demand in rugby. Okay, according to the study explore the psychological demand of international player rugby sevens and the well-being needs of athlete players. 20 professional players around age 21 to 33 years old participate in semi-structured interview. Qualitative content analysis yielded 5 categories of psychological demands. First one is tournament structure. Second one is resilient. Third one is cope with physicality. The fourth is perform when fatigued. And the last one is perform under pressure. Okay, for the first one is tournament structure. When the player know that the team has the tournament that they want to play, their mental will be more improved because the tournament will make the player will be training more fun because they will not think that they're training just for nothing. They will training for something they want to achieve to win the tournament. Is resilient. This is because rugby player do intense training to strengthen their bodies. So they need psychological skill training to keep their endurance stronger for each workout. In the match also, desperately needs strong endurance and mental for each player. Next is cope with physicality. Rugby players desperately need psychological skill training to have a strong physical. This is because the sport of rugby requires strong physical strength to be used in the game. With strong mental strength, rugby player will be more resilient and strong to play. It can also prevent injury for the player. Furthermore, perform when fatigued. This is an important thing in psychological skill training for rugby. This is because rugby is a game that requires strong stamina. By having a good mental strength, fatigue while playing will be avoided and more energetic to continue playing for the player. Performance while playing will also not deteriorate due to fatigue and so on. It's good for the player to keep playing for the full half. Lastly, perform under pressure. With the psychological skill training, rugby player will be calmer when the moment is critical in the match. The player will make a good decision for the good of the team, even under circumstance pressure. So the player will be more perform and will do the good job for the team to give their best, although in the pressure condition. Okay, next I will explain to you how to practice deep breathing. Okay, before that, I will explain to you about the deep breathing. Okay, take a deep breath in. Now let it out. You may notice a difference in how you feel already. Your breath is powerful tool to ease stress and make you feel less anxious. Some simple breathing exercise can make big difference if you make them part of your regular routine. Okay, before you started, keep this in mind. Okay, choose a place to do your breathing exercise. It could be in your bed or on your living room, floor, or in comfortable chair. Next, don't force it. This can make you feel more stressed. Just relax and cool. Next, try to do it at the same time once or twice a day. The last one is wear a comfortable clothes. Don't wear a tight clothes or not comfortable to you. Okay, next I will explain to you how to practice deep breathing. Okay, most of people take short, shallow breath into their chest. It can make you feel anxious and zap your energy. With this technique, you learn how to take bigger breath all the way into your belly. Okay, first, get comfortable. You can lie on your back, in a bed, or on the floor with a pillow under your head and knees. Or you can sit in a chair with your shoulder, head, neck support against the back of the chair. Okay, second, breathe in through your nose. Let your belly fill with air. Okay, third, breathe out through your nose. Next, place one hand on your belly and place the other hand on your chest. As you breathe in, feel your belly rise. As you breathe out, feel your belly lower. The hand on your belly should move more than the one that on your chest. Take 3 more full deep breaths. Breathe fully into your belly as it rises and fall with your breath. That's how we do the practice of deep breath. Next, I will explain to you about how to evaluate imagery ability. Okay, imagery ability is commonly referred to as the mental chronometry and vividness of the image. Mental chronometry is regarded as the time cost of mental operation between simulate and real movement, and it is measured by a relative objective temporal concurrence test. The imagery ability was measured in terms of the individual's imagery of a real movement and self-report vividness of imagery using a questionnaire. The participant preference over external or internal imagery is also measured. The imagery also can be developed. The imagery scale can be developed. Emotion can be developed by the emotion. Try to include emotional feeling in your image. Refresh your memory constantly by emphasizing specific sensory awareness during training. And for the details, incorporate as many of your senses as possible into your imagery, so the scene is clear and realistic, as clear as real life itself. The imagery is focused on the natural yet special way of thinking that involve our sense. Images are thought you can see, hear, smell, taste, or feel, and include memories, dreams, and daydreams, plan, and vision, and fantasy. Okay, next I will explain to you about how to practice imagery skill in rugby passing ball skill. Okay, for many rugby players and coach, the thought of practicing mental training is unimportant and complicated. This imagery skill can help players to practice mentally on their own. They will figure out ways to pass the ball correctly based on the coach guidance on the field. By imagining the technique and continuing to practice, their skill will be improved. This is important because rugby is a sport that requires good technique. The memory muscle will do the passing of the ball correctly as the result of the training and the imaging techniques. It will give more confidence to the player to do it in the match. Confidence will increase through the technician imagine or the right step. The player will also want to perform and try out the technique in vision during the training.
Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Muhammad Shukran Mutakudin from group SR1133F. Today I will present about sport psychology, which is anxiety and mood level. Anxiety. What is anxiety? Anxiety is a negative emotional state with feelings of nervousness, worry, and apprehension associated with activation or arousal of body by Weinberg and Gould, 1995. Anxiety also a tendency to perceive the situation as threatening or stressful. Anxiety has two types. Firstly, trait, which is behavioral or personality. For example, you always feel anxiety before game. Second type of anxiety is state anxiety, which is temporary and environment. For example, you get anxiety when you have an accident. Next, measurement of anxiety. We have 5 measurements of anxiety. Firstly, sport competitive anxiety test, SCAT. Use this measurement to measure trait anxiety that views a sport situation as threatening encounter with fear. Secondly, competitive state anxiety inventory, CSAI, to measure state anxiety. Thirdly, cognitive somatic anxiety questionnaire, CSAQ, to measure cognitive and somatic anxiety. Next, Handler Multidimensional Anxiety Scale, EMAS. We use to measure both trait and state anxiety developed through the core and internal condition. And last measurement is Sport Anxiety Scale, SAS, to measure both cognitive anxiety and somatic anxiety. And lastly, multi-dimensional anxiety theory. Anxiety is also multi-dimensional because it has both somatic and cognitive components. First, cognitive anxiety, which is mental component caused by such as fear of native social evolution. And secondly, somatic anxiety, the physical component of anxiety and reflects the perception of psychological response. Mood level. What is mood? Mood is a temporary state of mind or feeling. Bad mood in sport can lead to stress. Stress we have 3 types. Firstly, eustress, which is good stress. It happens when stress is viewed in a positive manner, such as the excitement of an upcoming athletic event. Second type of stress is new stress. New stress is happen when stress is viewed as neutral. Stress situation has no effect at all, either positive or negative. And lastly, distress, which is bad stress. It happens and can cause effect of unpleasant and undesirable stressor. can see on slide is a graph of anxiety level against days. This graph was created based on the data that I collect on my anxiety level during my passing rugby ball for 10 days. As you can see, in the first 2 days, my anxiety level was higher, which is 10 because it's my first time to doing rugby ball passing. However, on the third and fourth day, I start to gain a little bit confident. So my anxiety level reducing. On the day 5 to day 7, my anxiety level was constant at level 7 because I keep doing same drill of passing since day 1, but I still can passing properly. However, on the day 8 to day 10, my anxiety start to reducing because I have my friend who are rugby player come to accompany me and give some tips to passing rugby ball with a good skill. Next, this is a graph of mood level against days. This graph was created based on the data from my mood level when I'm doing rugby ball passing for 10 days. As you can see, on the first 2 days, my mood level was very low because this is my first time to passing a rugby ball. However, on the third day, I start to interesting to rugby, which is doing the passing rugby ball. Until the day 6, my mood start to drop because I doing same activity, which is static passing since day 1. But on the day 8, my mood level rising because I get some tips on how to passing a rugby ball. So I start to doing advanced, which is passing ball while running. So I get my maximum mode during the day 10.